Welcome to Relationship Mysteries. If today is your first time of seeing this channel, for my news to my new subscribers or subscribers, I welcome all of you to this channel today. I want to discuss on a very important topic: 3 types of love you must consider before you enter into any relationship. 3 types of love you must consider before you enter into any relationship with anybody. Most people these days don't understand that love is not a feeling. That's what most people don't understand, because if you look at the dictionary definition of love, sometimes it will tell you someone that you have emotional attachment to or someone you have affection for. But I want to tell you 3 types of love that a lot of people don't know about. I can as well say they are secret types of love that most people don't know about love. The truth is that love is a choice. Love is a choice. Love is not a feeling. Love is a choice. Love is not a feeling. And I always tell people that love is not love until that love connects to something. Love is always built on something. When you are talking about love, love is going to build on something. Love does not build on vacuum. There is always something that love should anchor on for that love to be strong, for that love to last. A love that is not anchored on anything cannot really work. That's the truth. Every relationship or marriage that will last or that will thrive or will survive, there is always something that love will be built on. If love is not anchored on anything, if love is not built on something, that love will fail. Because love, remember, love is not love until love connects to what? Value. Love is not real until it connects to value. So if you are telling me, oh, that man that is in your word now, that you just love the man, that sometimes when you ask people, why do you love him or why do you love her, they will tell you, I don't just know why I love him, I don't just know why I love her, I just have this affection, I just have this emotional attachment. That is a lie. There must always be a reason. There is no love without a definition. Love must be defined. Why do you love this person? Why are you interested in this person? Why do you think that this is the right person for you to be in marriage with? Why do you think that this is the right person to be your partner? There should be a reason. Because just like I say, love is a decision. Love is not a feeling, it's a decision. So you have to, if you are entering into love, you have to open your eyes. You have to know the reason why you are entering into that relationship. You have to know the reason why this person, why you are going to love the person. You have to know the reason why this person should be the love of your life. And that's why I'm here to tell you 3 types of love you must consider before you say yes to anybody, before you agree to enter into a relationship with anybody. Because if you don't get it right with these 3 types of love, listen, that relationship, that marriage will collapse. Carry someone, love is not about carrying someone to Domino Pizza and different kinds of hotels. Then you're going to different beaches and going to swimming pool to swim with the person, going to different beer parlor, joint, lounge, and all those things. No, those things you are seeing are not just. These are sometimes people call it the art of love. Oh, I want to spend time with the person I love and everything. But that real thing that induces love is what I want to tell you. If you want to induce love in the heart of a person for yourself, there are 3 kinds of inducers you are going to use. And when these 3 kinds of inducers are involved, listen, that love will not fail. And the number 1 thing I want us to relax to talk about is what I call thought-induced love. This kind of love is a love that happens because you suddenly discover that you have the same thinking pattern with a person, that both of you can reason in a particular dimension, that both of you can reason in a particular way. That is what is called thought-induced love. A love that is anchored on thinking pattern. A love that is anchored on belief system. A love that is anchored strongly in ideology. That both of you have the same ideological pattern. That both of you have the same ideological framework, the same ideological structure. That is what is called thought-induced love. Listen, and this kind of love, sometimes, that's why sometimes you will discover that when you are discussing with a man or when you are discussing with a woman, you suddenly, it dawns on you that both of you, there is this alignment in mentality, that both of you reason in, almost the same way. Both of you have the same kind of philosophy. Both of you, see life from the same perspective, from the same angle. That is what I call thought-induced love. Because if two people are going to stay in relationship or in marriage, there is always a form of thought that will connect both of them. If you don't have similar pattern of thinking in that relationship or marriage, you always have one form of fracas or the other with your spouse. Why this type of love is very important, thought-induced love, is that at the end of the day, if your marriage or relationship is going to thrive, if it's going to succeed, if it's going to survive, it's going to come through via the platform of similarity in thinking pattern. Why you see fights, why you see quarrels, why you see all manner of things happening in marriages, in relationship, is because the man is thinking in another way and the woman is thinking in another way. And if both of you don't have what I call thought similarity, definitely there will always be confusion, there will always be disharmony in that relationship. So if you want your relationship to last, there should be what I call thought alignment, ideological alignment. Both of you should be able to think, have the same pattern, have the same ideology, have the same belief system towards life. If you are a man that believes in saving and the woman in your life believes in spending, then there is going to be an issue. So I always tell men, it is the responsibility of a man to impact the way you think, to impact your thought pattern in your woman. Because the truth is that most women, they crave for relationship. Most women, they crave for relationship. And why they crave for that relationship? They are looking for leadership. A woman is there to be led. So if you want to enter, the first thing I always advise people that they should do, especially during courtship or when they are dating, whatever they are doing, is try to achieve oneness of thought with your partner. That if you blink your eyes, your spouse or your partner should know what that blinking means. If you do your body, in a way to communicate, they should know the message you are passing across to them. That is what I call achieving similarity in ideology and thinking. That before you say A, your partner understands what you meant by that. Very, very important. If you don't have the same thinking pattern with your spouse or your partner or your boyfriend or anything, that marriage or relationship will not survive. For instance, if you are somebody that is close to God and your partner is a person that is not interested in the things of God, then that marriage will not see the light of day. You will relate with your partner based on the way both of you think. Based on the way both of you think. So if you are going to get it right, I always tell people, get it right in the area of thinking. Look for somebody that has what I call thinking alignment with you. Look for someone that has what I call thought alignment. Someone that thinks almost like you. Someone that you will not struggle to communicate with. Because communication becomes effective when we have thought similarity. So any love that will last, any love that will last a marriage, that will last a relationship, is going to be built on the same ideological pattern. The second kind of love that you should aspire to achieve with your partner is what I call value-induced love. Have you heard people say before that I love her, I don't know the reason why I love him, or I don't know the reason why I love her? Anybody that is telling you that he or she does not know the reason why they love their partner or why they love the other person, that person is confused. It's called confusion. There is nothing that is called I love him or her in emptiness. There is always a reason. Just like I said before, that love goes with definition. There must be a reason. Why do you love that lady? Why do you love that man? So if you want your marriage and you want your relationship to see the light of the day, what you are going to do is that you need to consider the usefulness of that person. That's why in ancient dominion, one thing they do is that when you want to marry a woman or something, they will ask you that question of value. Okay, why do you want to marry her? Okay, you say you love this lady. Why do you love her? You say you are falling in love with this guy. Why are you in love with him? These questions must be answered. What is the man's usefulness to you? What is her usefulness to you? What is the lady's usefulness? What is her worth? What is her value? What is her significance in your life? Because any love that is based on infatuation will fail. What I see people do these days is because of infatuation. Once a guy sees a lady, and maybe you saw the shape of that woman, or maybe you saw the way she walks, the way she carries herself, the way she talks, and most of the time people conclude that they are love, especially guys. Sometimes people used to confuse love and lust. Most times because some people have what we call sexual arousal or urge. Sometimes when it happens, they will tell you that they are in love. No, they are not just in love. They are infatuated. When you ask them, why do you love this person? They don't even know. Any love that is built on infatuation, any love that is built on lust, any love that is built on only physical attributes will fail. So you need to know the value of that person in your life. Most times, the love that will last is a love that is induced by value. Why? Because at the end of the day, some of the things you think that will make that relationship or that marriage to thrive will fail. So when it fails, what will make that man or that woman to stay with you is the value. It's your value. Every one of us step into a relationship or marriage with our value. The quality of any relationship, the quality of any marriage depends on the values of the two individuals involved. So if you want to see the worth, if you want to see the value or the worth or the quality of your relationship or your marriage with your man or your woman, we are going to look at the values that both of you are bringing into that relationship or marriage. Listen, relationship and marriage is like two banks merging together to build a conglomerate. Now, let's tell people, try to achieve a love whereby a love that is built on value. You are coming with your value, the lady is coming with her value, and both of you are merging your value to achieve a higher value in that marriage or relationship. Please don't enter into any relationship or marriage without considering the place of value. What is the value of this man that wants to marry you in your life? What is the value of this woman that you want to marry in your life? Very important, because when every other thing fails, one thing that will always stand the test of time is the value in this love. Because that lady that is beautiful today, she may not look it tomorrow. When beauty fails, when there is no more money in the pocket, maybe the man is facing what I call seasonal challenge. What will make you to still be with that guy, what will make you to still be with that woman, is the value that brought her into your life, or the value that brought him into your life. Why some men or women are fed up easily with their relationship or marriage is because there's no more value. They can't see any value. This man, is he making your life better, or is she making your life worse? You need to consider these things. So before you go on in that relationship, before you go on in that marriage, you need to consider the place of value. You need to consider value-induced love. Thirdly, the third type of love that you should aim for is what I call character-induced love. Love that character connected you to. Character is the only thing that has power to endure, because beauty is fleeting. I always remember, I say, if you want to get it right in relationship, if you want to get it right in the word of choice making, the issue of character must be considered seriously. Before you go on with that man, before you can do anything with that woman, please try as much as possible to consider her character. Try as much as possible to consider his character. Always try as much as possible to ignore the beauty of somebody. Focus more on the behavior if you don't want to get it wrong. So any marriage or relationship that is induced, any love that is induced, that was induced by character, it will be difficult for that love to fail. Why people separate from their partner, why people divorce, is because of the issue of character. Because there is a limit to what that emotional excitement can do. There is a limit how far emotional excitement can go in marriage or relationship. But one thing that will make, even when you feel that you don't want to see your spouse, even when you are angry with your spouse, even when you are angry with your partner, even when you don't feel like being in that marriage or relationship again, one thing that you can look at and say, okay, because of this thing, let me say, is that when that love, was actually induced by character. So if you want to do anything, or you want to do anything serious with anybody, you need to ask yourself these three types of questions. What this relationship or this marriage I'm about to contract right now, on what type of love is it built on? What type of love am I using to build it? That I'm attracted to this guy, is it because of his intelligence? Is it because of his mindset? Is it because of the way he thinks? My love for this guy, is it based on that we have the same value system? Is it based on because we have the same thinking pattern? Is my love for him coming through that vehicle of thought similarity? Is my love for this guy, or is my love for this lady coming through the vehicle of character? Is it coming through the medium of value? So these three types of love should be clear to you. Don't just enter into it because somebody is mounting pressure on you. No. Don't enter into a relationship or marriage because somebody is trying to sweet talk you. Consider these three types of love. Any marriage or relationship that will last, one of these types of love must be considered. Any relationship or marriage that have lasted, that is still going on, or you see two couples, they are happily married, they are still enjoying the company of each other. Look closely. These three types of love, one is dominant in that marriage or relationship. Is it that the man got attracted to the woman because they think alike, or that the woman got attracted to the man because of his character, or that the man got attracted to the woman because of her value? There is always a value every human being should bring into your life if it has to do with relationship or marriage. And that value is what will authenticate that love in that marriage or relationship. Remember, I said at the beginning that there is nothing that I love without reason. There is nothing like that. It does not exist. Maybe in the area of faith or other things you can be done. But when it comes to a relationship between a man and a woman, there is always a reason why you are attracted to somebody. I'm trying to find it out. But do you know why? Do you know what some people do? Sometimes the reasons why some people enter into a relationship or marriage with people are not actually valuable. They are not actually, how will I put it? They are not actually real. You cannot enter into a relationship with a married woman because the person is good in bed. That one is not value. Those things are secondary things. You cannot enter into a relationship or marriage because that guy is wearing fine clothes. No. And because of some of these infatuated reasons, that is why relationships and marriages these days don't last. Any relationship that will last, these three types of love must be considered. One, thought-induced love. You should look at that. Character-induced love, value-induced love. And before I go on, please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, I would like you to subscribe to this channel. Drop your comment, like, share, so that people can get to hear about these three types of love. At least it will help this channel to grow, please. Before you do anything or you go any further with that man or woman, please define the vehicle through which the love you are claiming you have for him or her is coming through. Is it thoughts? Is it value? Is it character? See you in the next video.